Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about Hotel Inhumans, Season 1, Episode 12. Great episode. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. So immediately picking up where the last episode left off, and we have the situation between Danica and the kid she's overseeing, the kid that's supposed to be her spotter. And obviously the guy overseeing the operation is, kicking him around and just being like, right, know your place, just do your job, and telling them to shut up and not talk to each other. And so Danica and him communicate through Morse code. And it becomes this conversation about when was the first time, how old were you when you first killed? And she's like, I actually don't know, but she's like, I'm pretty sure I was younger than you, which I figured as much as well. She's just been doing it so long that that's kind of all the life that she's ever really known. And it was because he's commenting on, like, you said, like, if I keep going down this route, like, I won't be able to go back. Like, he's almost asking, like, what made you, or how were you able to come back? And for her, it's like, well, because she wasn't alone. And it's like, she had someone, and she was even telling the kid, like, I hope you find someone in your life as well who'll basically kind of pull you back and kind of be that balance to everything. Otherwise, you'll kind of be lost in that. And she only found her way back because she had someone to walk that road with her, to be by her side through it all. And that is something not everyone is fortunate enough to have that. And she wants this kid to potentially have that if he ever goes down that route. But then immediately they get word, I guess maybe the guard finally woke up, or they said they got like word from HQ that the prisoner escaped. Well, because, right, even if the guard didn't wake up, they had like an hour before the next guard came in for the shift. And it's like, wait, what's going on? And a moment before they could even really piece it together, Sarah came in, smoke grenades. And the guy's thinking initially, the head guy's like, wait, is this like the prince? Did he find out? But it's like, no, like, we would have heard something from like the minister because he's in contact with us and stuff. So it's like, right, this is someone here rescuing Chitana, considering she's gone now. And so I guess her purpose was only knocking people out, because I guess killing them would just draw too much more attention, because she just in the smoke systematically taking everyone out. And just before she could go to the boy, like Danica stops her, which I was almost scared. I was like, because like the moment the episode started, I was just thinking about the whole thing of like, oh god, this kid's gonna betray her. I thought like, oh my god, she's gonna die, and then like Chitana's gonna have to like take this kid in and raise him kind of on her own. He kind of fills the void of Danica being gone. That's what I thought, even though he's kind of pseudo the spotter, and so is Danica, so it would make more sense. Chitana, so it would make more sense if Chitana died, and then like this kid kind of filled that void and went along with Danica, especially because they already have a connection and correlation. So, but I was worried, I was scared, oh god, this kid's gonna be like their undoing or something. And ultimately kind of ends up being the case, because he gets taken hostage by the guy, because he saw that Danica told Sarah, hey, don't go after this kid, like, leave him alone, it's okay. And it's like, I'll take responsibility. And that gave this guy his opportunity to hold the kid at gunpoint. It's like, cool. Like, ironically enough, trying to protect this kid kind of blew up your whole plan. And he's like, oh, the irony behind it too is like, here you are, kid, not even knowing the person mainly behind all this is the same person that pushed for you to be in the slave situation to begin with. Like, you're puppeteered on the strings, and you don't even realize the person puppeteering you is the minister, that he's behind all this. And even kind of one evil villain, like, gloating about the evilness of another villain and yada yada yada, bigging him up and stuff, and telling Danica she can't go anywhere, because it's like, if you do anything, I'm gonna kill this kid, so you better go take the shot. So, and I mean, Sarah's just biding her time because she doesn't want to make a move either, and it's just a matter of right timing. And luckily we have Chitana and Ikuro showing up, because the librarian had given them a route that would make it faster to get there. So because of that, it's like, oh, because I think in my head I didn't realize initially that these were two separate locations, and it makes sense because they're in the middle of the city where they are currently, where they were when Chitana was being held. Like, they were near like a storehouse or near like water. So like that, I think that was the whole point, you know. And I, like I said, I didn't realize those were two separate locations. I thought they were the same location. Obviously, they're not. That was just an idiotic mistake on my part. But either way, it's like, oh, we got here because our librarian gave us a shortcut because we didn't come by like road or whatever. We came by water, so like it benefited us because she gave us a shortcut here. And I love Ikuro coming through, tying up people, and doing the guy who got knocked out and who woke up and immediately tases him and knocks him back out. And Ikuro was like, oh yeah, you're so focused on me, I wouldn't be doing that. And then you have Sarah come in, slamming that guy. Like, she kicks him hard, and then his face slams into the wall. I was about to say, is he dead? But we see later on his jaw is busted. I'm curious what broke his jaw. Was it the kick or was it the slam into the wall? I can't actually tell. I'm assuming the kick, but it could be a combination of the two that broke his jaw. So, but I'm scared. Like I said, this show makes me so nervous. I'm like, okay, everything's good. It's like it can't just stay good. And then Danica runs over to Chitana, and I was like, well, luckily, Sarah has both guns in her hand, so I'm like, okay, cool, nothing's going to go wrong. But then the kid picks up the gun, especially because they went through the trouble of telling that story again about Chiron and his student accidentally shooting him. I was like, no. I was like, don't do this, don't make this depressing as hell. And Danica jumps in front of the bullet. I was like, shit, because she doesn't want the kid to be a killer. It's like, I don't want you to be me, and to stop you from doing that. Like, I get it because you're pissed at this guy. This guy looked down upon you. He called you a slave. He called you like a toy. And it's just like, no, I'm going to prove you I'm wrong. I'm going to do this. But it's like, you don't have to feed into this endless cycle of like letting him turn you into something you don't have to be. And that's why Danica took the bullet. I was like, damn it. But then she goes, ow. I was like, oh God, she's okay. So luckily it grazed her and didn't hit anything. But I'm like, okay, good. Oh, thank God. The psych out. Maybe. There's still a whole another episode. Get to that in a second. But I was like, oh, thank goodness. It turns out the wound's not too bad. Her arm is sore though. But she goes over to the kid and takes the gun from him because like, you don't need to do this. She's like, I don't want you to turn out like me, so you don't have to worry about it. She says, and then Chitana grabs her hand, who's grabbing the kid's hand, and they both, and Danica corrects herself. She's like, we will dirty our hands so you don't have to. Because it's like, right, we've already gone so far down the road for them. Like, there is no going back. All the death and all the people they're responsible for killing, like, regardless of what it is, we've killed a lot of people, and we've shouldered that, and we found our way through that together. But like, if we can prevent you from even going down that road in the first place, you don't have to lead the same life that we do. And so they're lining up the shot, for the boat, and you're like, right, they're not aiming for the prince, they're aiming for the minister. And I love that line where it's just like, do you know what it's called when a slave successfully gets like rebels or whatever? And it's like revolution. And they line up the shot. Danica's arm is hurt, but it's like, right, she's the super sniper. Danica, and obviously got her super spotter, Chitana, and the bullet like speeding across the water, and you see like the minister behind the prince smiling, thinking like, yeah, this is it, he's good. And then just like you see his expression kind of change like a little bit. Like, there's that a split second when the bullet hits his head, you can see there's almost this realization, but he dies with a smile on his face because he dies thinking like, yeah, this is it. And just, there's a twisted nature in me thinking like, you're just like, yeah, like it's almost like I want you to suffer behind all that you do, that you were so gleeful to be a part of this whole thing because you benefited it, you profited from it. You're trying to kill someone who was trying to stop this terrible thing in your country from continuing, but because it was too profitable, because it was too good, why fix what ain't broken, even though this thing is broken? I mean, so many, and the minister up there being like, oh yeah, like our prince, yada yada yada, the good that he's doing because he's talking with other people who are like, oh yeah, he's trying to liberate the slaves and stuff like that, well, all the while he was planning the prince's downfall. And I'm curious, will the prince ever find out the truth of who the minister really was, that he was behind the scenes on a lot of this stuff, or will the minister be like remembered fondly in their country or not? But the job is done, and obviously Danica comes over and hugs the kid, and he's crying because it's just like, there's freedom in that. Granted, once again, the rest of those people aren't dead. Home Dude gets a call, so like they were hired, but the minister, like, they had a middleman who, now that the minister is dead, like that's going to blow back on that organization. So that's also probably why you leave them alive, because it's going to blow. They're what they were going to try and do, have like Danica or Chitana or both of them be the fall guy. Now this organization is. Problem is, with them being alive, they could always come after Chitana and Danica later on, which could be the next part of the story. And I wonder, are they going to take in this kid and raise him as their own? And it's like, we're going to be kind of a pseudo family, or are they going to find some other place for him? I'd hope they'd kind of take him in, but I don't know. But it was kind of like this, obviously, like being able to do for someone else, which they couldn't necessarily do alone because they had each other, and now they kind of be that person. I'm talking all in circles. Sorry, it's beautiful for it all to come full circle, because they were that for each other, and now they can both be that for this little kid. They saved each other, and now they were able to save him. And it's like, but would they want to keep him around considering who they are? Like, it might be a thing of, we'll send him on his way, try to find a family that'll take him in. I don't know if it's like find him a job at the hotel or something like that, but considering what that job entails, like, I mean, granted, like, the concierges don't necessarily kill people. They don't have to. They can if it comes down to it, but for the most part, they're just helping out people. So he could find a place here. I mean, hell, for all we know, the twist could be like he ends up working at the library. That could be the gig. I'd almost kind of want Danica and Chitana to work at the hotel too, and like, because they are trying to find more spiders. So I don't know if that's the plan in the long run. Like I said, this organization is still alive. None of those people are dead. The prince, if he doesn't, know, regardless of it all, it is kind of a probably international incident of like that minister dying here, and it's like probably bad, and you want justice for what happened. So probably going to be a lot of crackdown on trying to find the person responsible for. And this is supposed to be like Danica and Chitana's last job, but it's like, yeah, one day away from retirement is the age-old story where things go horrendously wrong. And that's why I'm like so nervous, because when I was like, okay, maybe the storyline's even though we don't get a conclusion because Ikuro's supposed to like show them the meteor shower, right? But I'm like, oh well, guess we didn't get that. But then it's like shit. The next episode's a part 4. I was like, no, I was hoping it'd be something different, because that way I'm like, because there's a whole episode times worth for things to go wrong. This, like I said, the show makes me nervous because I'm always scared of the worst thing happening, because I'm like, I don't want to be bummed out. I want it to be like, it's all good, but it's like, no, like this, it'll probably be a silver lining ending where there's some sad stuff, and then there's going to be a silver lining of good. I'm like, I want it to all be good, but there's no way it's going to play out that way. I'm just so curious to see how this wraps up, how this all plays out, where this storyline meets its conclusion, and how that ties into... I mean, once again, it's always about like what the effect it has on like Ikuro and Sarah more specifically, and like what this experience has them like going along into the future with. Is kind of like the staying power of these situations. They might not always have like the largest like plot relevance, because they're like very like siloed off episodes and kind of episodical in that regard, but the effect that they have on our characters going through this, I think, is kind of an important journey in the long run. And they're, Sarah and Ikuro's journey as concierges. So I'm so interested to see what the aftermath of this episode is, and how what the fallout of that's going to be in the season finale, because I can't imagine there's none, but we'll have to wait to see. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.